I'm gonna share with you 20 different side hustle ideas. All of these are good enough to be businesses. And these are different ideas that I've either tried or wanted to get into, or that I heard about and I think that are interesting. These are not those get rich quick scheme type of ideas that you see all over YouTube. These are real business ideas, and if you put in the effort and you actually wanna get into it and you wanna actually succeed, then you can. So with that said, number one is snow shoveling and snow removal. When I was a kid, I actually used to do this. Me and a friend of mine used to go down our neighborhood, knock on doors, and ask if people wanted to have their snow shoveled. And we used to make some quick cash. And you can do the same thing if you live in an area where it snows a lot. You can clean the snow, you can shovel, do snow removal for businesses, and you can do this as a side hustle, or you can even make a business out of it. Number two is graffiti removal. Next time you go out, look around you and see there's probably a lot of graffiti that you don't notice. Some cities and some towns have a lot of graffiti, a lot of vandalism, and they need it removed all the time because it just looks horrible. If a business gets painted over on their storefront or on their wall or even a house, it's a nuisance. People need to clean it up. And usually the way you do this is with a power washer or some kind of cleaning equipment, some kind of chemicals. So you can make a really good business out of it, and there's probably no shortage of business because it keeps happening all the time, especially if you live in a place that has a lot of graffiti. Number three is baby proofing a home or even a business. When people have babies, they need to baby proof their home. They need to put padding here or making sure furniture is secure and doesn't fall, and all these things. It's a huge business, and you can even do something like handicap proofing. So people with special needs, when they go to a business or they go to a venue or convention center or something like that, there's always things you can do to accommodate these people. It's needed more and more these days, so definitely something to think about. Number four is parking lot striping. So whenever you go park somewhere in a parking lot, you see those white lines. Somebody had to do that, and somebody has to do that over and over again because they get washed away. And there's a lot of other places where they have painting that needs to be done on the ground. It's not just parking lots. There's other areas that this service is needed, and it's a really interesting one. You can probably get into this business and really have some fun. Number five is being a handyman, but not just a regular handyman, a specialized handyman. I used to install window air conditioners, and that's all I did. And I wasn't a handyman, but I sort of provided handyman services, but for a specific thing. And I used to make anywhere from $100 to $300 an hour doing this specialized service because it was specialized. I only did this service and only served this market. I didn't have to do random stuff where I wasn't sure what I was doing, but I focused on one specific niche and I got really good at it, and I could charge a lot more money than just doing a whole broad spectrum of random jobs where some jobs cost less and some jobs cost more. TV mounts or blinds, right? Or garage door openers. Get your mind going and try to think of something that you're good at, that you can focus on, and you can make a cool side hustle or business out of. Number six is you can become a wedding officiant. Yes, exactly. I'm probably not saying it right. Wedding officiant. You can basically do weddings. I think you need a license and you just need to learn how to do it. And you could probably do themes. You can dress up as a certain character, do it in a certain way. Just get creative and really make it interesting and really make a cool side hustle or even business out of if you're creative. So number seven, I think is really cool and overlooked. And this is hanging wall art. Whenever somebody gets some kind of big painting or some kind of art, memorabilia, anything like that, they have to hang it on their wall. But it's not easy. Sometimes you need a ladder, you need to kind of know what you're doing, you need to put the screw in correctly so it doesn't fall out, you need to line it up straight. So there's a little bit of work and a little bit of knowledge that goes into it, and regular people don't necessarily want to do it, but they need someone to do this. And I don't think that there's a lot out there, so it's probably not that competitive to get into, so you can definitely have a cool little side business doing this. Number 8 is being an accountability buddy. A lot of times all people need is somebody to kick them in the butt to get going. Most people know exactly what they need to do, but sometimes they're just stuck in a rut and they just can't get going. They need somebody to push them, to remind them, to tell them, hey, get up off that chair and do what you gotta do. You know what you need to do. You just need to be pushed. And a lot of times your friends are not gonna do that, or they're not gonna be consistent. You may ask your friend or your spouse to be like, hey, remind me, push me. They might do it once, twice, 3 times, but they're not gonna do it consistently. So this would be an interesting service if you provided this, where you sort of follow up with a person, keep reminding them, keep pushing them, keep trying to motivate them, and asking them to be accountable for something, either starting a business or going to the gym or eating right or whatever it is. So this is something I definitely wish I had for me. So if you want to start this business, make sure you reach out to me and we'll definitely work. Number 9 is a photocopying service, but better. Imagine a business or somebody needs to do a bunch of copies, like a huge stack, and who's gonna do that? They have to stand there and do it and make copies and make sure everything works. But what if you provided a service where you do it for them? So they don't have to make a copy of each thing to make sure that everything got copied correctly and they got the right amount of copies and everything looks right and correct. You can do it for them. They give you a huge stack of papers or whatever it is, and you do the copies for them according to how they need it. For number 10 is trash bin cleaning. And I've seen this, there's a truck that goes around and cleans your trash bins. They need to be cleaned all the time because they get dirty, they get smelly, and they get nasty. Somebody has to clean them so it doesn't smell all over the neighborhood, all over your house. And you know what? Even though it's a dirty job, somebody's got to do it. So if you're one of those people that's willing to take on this job, you can find success in that. Furniture restoration, and you can go 2 ways. You can either restore furniture for people, or you can buy furniture, restore it, fix it up, and resell it. And if you know how to do this kind of work and you're handy, you can definitely make money either fixing up furniture for people or flipping it. Firewood Delivery. Now, I don't know much about this business, to be honest with you, but I have seen it offered at a lot of places where there's snow and people don't want to go out to get their own firewood because it's big and it's heavy and they want somebody to deliver it to them. If you live in that kind of climate, you can definitely do a nice side hustle out of this. Golf club cleaning. You could either clean golf clubs for people, or you can buy used golf clubs, clean them up, and resell them, because they're made of metal and wood, and if you know how to clean them up really nice, it's like flipping sneakers, and a lot of people make a lot of money doing this. So clean it up for people, or buy it, clean it, and flip it. Plant maintenance. People love to have plants, but they don't really know how to maintain them. If you're into plants and you know how to maintain plants, you could do this for businesses, for offices, for people with a lot of plants. They need somebody to come in with the knowledge and the skill to take care of their plants, make sure they're healthy, they don't die, and this could be you if this is something that you're interested in. Soundproofing homes, studios, whatever it is, you have to have some skill and talent to do this, so somebody would definitely hire you for this. If you know how to soundproof a room, a space, whatever it is, this could be an interesting side hustle. If you're a musician and you understand this kind of stuff, you could really excel and really make some money doing this. Safe installation, that's right. They're big, they're bulky, and they need to be installed either in a room, in a closet, wherever it is. You can get into it. You can install a safe. You need to be able to drill it in the right place, secure it, make sure it's safe, make sure nobody can basically rip it out and take it with them. So if you know how to do this kind of stuff, this could be a really interesting side hustle. Fish tank maintenance. Whenever you go to a doctor's office or some kind of office, a lot of times you see these big fish tanks. And who do you think maintains it? Usually somebody comes in ever so often and maintains that fish tank. So if you're into fish and fish tanks and you know what you're doing, you can definitely do this. Very easy to get into as a side hustle. Just go into the office, advertise your services, and you could probably start making money right away. Piano tuning, and this is so interesting when I found out about this. There are tools that are very easy to use that help you tune pianos. So if you have an ear for it, you know how to do this, you can tune people's pianos. Or if you know how to tune other instruments, start thinking about it. You can probably do that as a side hustle as well. Document shredding. I see big trucks pull up to the front of an office building and they have this shredder installed in the actual truck and they're shredding a bunch of documents and all that kind of stuff. You could do it on a smaller scale and smaller quantities. You can help businesses and people shred their documents whenever they need to. I think this is a really interesting idea that you don't think about a lot, and if you're creative, you can probably make this work as a side hustle. And last but not least, you can start a local sports league. So there are professional local sports leagues where everything is set up and there's a website and then you have teams, or you could simply do it through meetup.com, or just get people on a list, have them pay you $5, $10, $15 to come play a game. And all you got to do is just organize it, have a field for people to play on, and you can make some side money that way. And I'll see you guys next time.